Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers. In this video, we're going to be doing another running shoe versus, this time between the New Balance More V4 and the Nike Invincible 2. Let's take a look. The New Balance Fresh Foam More V4 costs £140 or $149.99. It weighs in at 298 grams or 10.5 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 4mm. The Nike Invincible Run 2 costs £164.95 or $180. It weighs in at 285 grams or 10.1 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 9mm. The Fresh Foam More V4 is a max cushion shoe designed for plush, comfortable miles that features a number of design updates over the More V3. The biggest of those is the addition of even more Fresh Foam X midsole foam that makes it higher and wider than its predecessor, a design feature that aims to improve the stability of the ride as well. New Balance has also updated the outsole with new cushion zones across the length of the shoe, as well as flex zones to give it a more natural feel on the run. The shoe still features a rocker profile for a smooth transition and a modified engineered mesh upper that's built to feel plush but ensure ample breathability. The outsole is covered with a generous level of rubber for grip and to protect the midsole foam. There's also a reflective logo on the shoe for added visibility at night. Featuring the same incredibly soft ZoomX foam that you find in both the Alphafly and the Vaporfly, the Nike ZoomX Invincible Run Flyknit 2 is a shoe that's built for cushioning. But unlike those race options, the midsole in the Invincible 2 is focused on easy miles and daily sessions. You still get a similar bounce and responsiveness to its carbon plate siblings, but now it's used to minimise impact for training sessions in comfort and help you to keep going when your legs get tired. The wide base also ensures that there's plenty of ground contact to increase the stability of the ride. The upper uses Nike's Flyknit design, ensuring a soft, comfortable fit that still holds the foot securely when running, and there's a waffled rubber outsole design to protect the delicate ZoomX midsole as well as add grip and traction. You'll also find new laces in the Invincible Run Flyknit 2, which makes it easier to tie down than the previous version. Okay, so Nick, these two shoes, how's the fit for you?
Very good, true to size in both of these shoes. I think maybe they're both fairly roomy in the toe box, but not in a unpleasant way or an uncomfortable way. Like, it's the right amount of room for a nice, easy shoe like this. So yeah, no concerns of fit, true to size. How about you?
Yeah, exactly the same for me. I definitely stick true to size in both of these shoes. I actually prefer the More V4 upper to the Invincible 2s. I find the Invincible 2s uppers a little bit, what's the word? It's a little bit more rigid. There's a bit more structure to it, and I actually find the upper on the More V4 a little bit looser and a bit more comfortable. But yeah, true to size in both. Okay, the run test, Nick. How have you found both of these shoes?
I like both of these shoes, Tom. I think they're very different shoes, but they do the same job very, very well. They are just, I think, just pure, easy shoes, using for nothing else, not really caring about versatility. These are probably the two standouts on the market for me, maybe, because even things like the Glycerin and Triumph, I think, have a bit more of an edge to them to use for daily training. They've got a bit more versatility, but these two are just fantastic, easy, and long run in particular shoes, but they do it in a completely different way. So the Invincible, it's really soft, it's really squishy, it's really bouncy, it's very, very unique, actually. There's nothing really on the market that comes close. The Nova Blast has a bit of bounce, but nothing of this level, I'd say. And there are times when I get completely obsessed with it, and it's all I want to use for easy runs, and I love using it, and I just want to grab it and pull it out and keep using it because it does feel so good and fun and bouncy underfoot. But then there are times when I don't want to use it that much because it is so soft and squelchy underfoot, and maybe I'm a bit tired, maybe I'm a bit niggly, and even though I don't think it's a shoe that makes you more likely to get injured or anything like that, but it's not as stable as other shoes, and sometimes it's just a bit much. It's just a bit soft, and it's not really in keeping with my feeling about the run that day, and it's quite noticeable on the foot. Whereas the More V4, I think, is the ultimate in not shoe that you don't notice for long, easy runs. Like, it just looks big but feels fine on the foot. You just get rolling in it, and you can just tick along very merrily at easy paces for hours or for 20 minutes or for whatever you're doing that day, and it just really works very well. It's got those big sidewalls, so it is pretty stable as well, and it's almost the opposite of the Invincible in the way it approaches that easy long run shoe, but does it incredibly effectively. And I think I can't really imagine a day when I would be annoyed at using the More V4. I wouldn't want to use it, whereas the Invincible, there are those days where I feel like it's a bit much, but probably at its peak I might enjoy it a bit more. How about you?
Yeah, I think people who are looking for a high stack, really, lots of cushioning shoe, these are both going to come up in that search, and it's quite a difficult one if you don't know the shoes to make that decision. The Invincible 2 is an interesting shoe. I really enjoy that shoe, but I very rarely use it, just because I think it's a very enjoyable shoe to wear for a very specific type of run. That Zoom X Flame is very bouncy, but also there's not like a lovely efficient motion to it. It's not like it's rolling you forward in this lovely, cruising fashion. It's just really soft and bouncy, and there's not many runs that I want to use that for. A lot of the cushion shoes that are out have a bit more to them than that, and they sort of roll you forward a little bit more balanced midsole underfoot. So I do think the Invincible 2 is a little bit of a specific shoe, and if you were somebody that maybe had a rotation of 3 shoes, I think it's a bit risky to get that shoe as your cushion shoe because it's very stuck in one specific type of run. The More V4, as you say, I think there's a bit. I think it's just a really comfortable, reliable, semi-soft cruising long run shoe that just disappears off your foot. All the runs that I've done in this shoe so far, I've enjoyed every one. I haven't necessarily thought about my feet when doing it. I haven't thought, wow, I'm bouncing up like I'm in the Invincible 2, but I don't really want that all the time. And also I find with the Invincible 2 that if you're trying to maintain a consistent pace for a long time, it can feel a little bit sluggish. Just because it does squelch you in all the time. So, yeah, the More V4 I think is just, there's a lot more to it. I think I'd love to do, I think this would be a great shoe for marathon training as like your, comfortable recovery, long run, easy shoe. And yeah, I've enjoyed running it. So I think they're very similar, but in some ways, to the onlooker, if you were searching for cushion shoes, I think they both pop up and you'd go, oh, which one do I get? But the More V4 is just a bit more accessible to everyone, and I think it just fits into a rotation nicer.
Yeah, it's true. It's a bit hard for me because I think about the Invincible. It does make me excited. I like the idea of.
Don't worry, we won't be talking to Jane about this. I won't tell you anything about this.
It gets my heart aflutter. The Invincible. It's an exciting shoe. It's a shoe I look at potentially buying more of because when I do want to use it, it is the most fun, like easy long run shoe I think out there. It is so fun to use, and I will go for periods where I can use it a lot. Maybe when I'm running a bit less, actually, I can use it a lot for my easy runs. But in high mileage weeks, grinding out weeks, the More V4 is the more solid option, the option that will never really annoy me. But it is still quite a pretty fun shoe. I shouldn't overstate that it's like dull in any way. Like there are shoes out there like the Nike Infinity that do a similar job but are dull. And it's a good shoe, the Infinity. I don't think it's a bad shoe at all, but it is a bit dull. Whereas the More V4 is a bit more fun than that whilst doing a similar purpose. But yeah, if I'm just looking at if it came down to what I might buy, not thinking about anything, the Invincible's the one that excites me more, but it is a bit more of an acquired taste. It's definitely probably isn't the one I'd recommend to people out of the two. Maybe we should talk about this in the verdict. Let's talk about this in the verdict, Tom.
Let's do a verdict. Okay, so we started talking about verdicts a little bit there. Let's probably do the verdict now. What are you going for, the More V4 or the Invincible 2?
Well, I'm just going to repeat everything I just said. I think, do you know what, genuinely, if it came to a choice for me, and I don't know if this is the right choice, I would probably get the Invincible because it does excite me more. And I think on those days when I do want to use it, and that's lots of days. I mean, it's not like an outlier. It's most of the time, it's a shoe I really happily to use. I find it really fun and more enjoyable. The More V4, I think, is the more practical shoe, the more consistent shoe, more reliable shoe. Like you say, it's the one I'd recommend to people because I don't think it's the case. A lot of people are going to dislike that shoe, whereas the Invincible, they really could. And I also think it's going to feel very consistent across long runs and across runs for hundreds of miles into the future. It's going to have a very similar feel, whereas the Invincible, like you say, can sap a bit towards the end of long runs at times. And the foam is probably not going to be as hard wearing as Fresh Foam X over the hundreds of miles, although the Invincible is a pretty durable shoe. I don't think there's any big concerns there. But yeah, it is a choice of what you want your easy runs to feel like, and the More V4 is probably the more sensible choice. But the Invincible is so fun, Tom. I find it hard. Also, it comes in some better colours. That helps. How about you?
Well, I mean, I'm obviously going to go for the More V4, but there's a reason behind that. And I think the thing about the Invincible 2 is that I know a few people who've bought the Invincible 2, but they tend to be people who have a lot of shoes. So that they have the Invincible 2 as well as maybe something like the More V4 or the Triumph 20 or the Glycerin 20. And the Invincible 2 serves that purpose where they go, I just want to enjoy this run. I'm not going to go marathon training run or anything like that. I'm going to go out for a short run. I just want to enjoy that run. And the Invincible 2 does that. It's a shoe that you can take out to have fun, basically. But I wouldn't want to take that shoe. Say I was doing a 22-mile marathon training run, I would never pick up the Invincible 2. I just wouldn't want to do that. I think it would annoy me, or it would make me feel too sluggish. But into that run, and I just don't think I'll get the benefits from that shoe. More V4 I think is more accessible to everybody who wants a cushion shoe, because I would pick this shoe for a 22-mile long distance marathon training run at like an easy pace, because I just think it's just got a nice enough fluid motion to it. It just really nestles it's quite stable, really nestles the foot into place, and just feels really comfortable on those runs. So I just think if you've got a rotation of 3 shoes, I think it's a good cushion shoe to have. If you're just getting one shoe and you were choosing between the Invincible 2 and the More V4, I still get the More V4, because you could use it for more things, and I think it's more applicable to different types of running than the Invincible 2. So there you go. Yeah, I'm going to go for the More V4, I think, in every instance.
Yeah, I agree with all that, Tom, and I think that's the right thing to do. But the Invincible, man, it's so fun. Yeah. I have gone up like over 30k in it, and enjoyed those runs. But I always notice when I look back at my training diary and the Invincible, when I've really liked it most, it's been that first month and a half of marathon training, when you're full of excitement for the training ahead. You're still pretty fresh. You haven't had those 3 months of wearing you down, and then towards the end of marathon training, I'm looking at I've been knocking out whatever 80, 110k weeks for a few months now. Legs tired, and the Invincible starts to feel a bit off-putting, apart from for maybe like 5 miles here and there. Then I wouldn't want to use it for long runs. So it does, like you say, it does become a bit more of a shoe that you're not going to use all the time. Whereas the More V4, yeah, it's the sensible one. You'll always want to use that. And a rotation of 3 shoes, it's a safe pick, definitely, and it's a good shoe, one shoe as well. So there is that, I suppose.
I imagine there'll be people watching this thinking, getting into marathon training and really looking forward to the first few weeks of training. I'm not sure everyone's going to have that mindset. Most people start doing it going, oh no, I've got to do this for 3 months. But yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's a good shoe for that. But I think I would always class the Invincible 2 as a treat shoe. You buy it and you go, oh, this is this is a treat for me. I'm going to add this to my collection. I'm going to use it for those runs that I really want to have a treat. But yeah, I think it's just less useful as a shoe for most people.
Yeah, that's probably true. Still though, a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. That's it from us. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click that little bell, and check the channel out for all the other videos we've got, from road and trail shoes to headphones, watches, and various bits of running accessories that we've tested over the past few months. And don't forget, we've also got our monthly podcast. If you go into the caption below, you can click the link to our latest podcast, and if you like it, you can give us a like or a rating, and maybe even leave us a message. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.